So, funny thing, as Rosie pointed out a little bit ago, sometimes our hardest things, and Al said as well, the hardest things that we deal with, the pressures in our life, they're what we cling to. Makes us reach for the cross, makes us cling for it, cling to it. But for how long? I ask that for a reason. If things are open. So, I want to ask you a question. How many of us have witnessed a miracle? I see some hands, but before, I guess it's more fair to ask, what is a miracle? Who can define what a miracle is? I saw a couple of hands. I'm going to pick on you. Define a miracle.
Well, the definition will be coming as a thought process here.
Okay.
But when something that man says can't happen, can't occur in the time frame that humans are used to, and it happens in the blink of an eye, it just turns something the whole way around from however it was.
Okay.
I mean, in healings, you know, where it can't be done, but God can.
Right. Anyone else have anything to add to that? Angel.
I think it's whenever odds are all against us and we think the worst is going to happen. And the tables kind of turn and the least expected happens for the good.
Okay. The dictionary definition of miracle is a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by nature or scientific laws, and therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency or God. So back to my first question, who has witnessed a miracle? Just a couple of us? I mean, we heard about Carol this morning. She couldn't walk. She asked God to let her come to church. She's here this morning. I'm sorry, I'm going to smack myself for that statement. Come to worship with us. Because as I've stated before, we are the church. But simple little things like that we take for granted. So, when you witnessed that miracle, did it trigger something in your mind? Did it make you ask a question? Did it make you look deeper into it? Or did you just let it go? Was it just something ho-hum? Did it make you ask why this happened? Or how it happened? Did it try to get you to explain it? As Angel said, things can happen at the blink of an eye that all odds are against us. And all of a sudden there's a change. But are we blind to this? Are we so expectant as believers, so expectant of miracles from God, that we're blind to them? Think about that for a second. Because we as followers of believers, we expect miracles. We know God can give us miracles. He can show them. He can manifest a miracle in anything. So when we are down, when we're troubled, when we're hurt, and we have all the odds against us, we're expecting miracles. But the miracles that He's given us, we're like, that's everyday life. We're blind to it. We've taken for granted what He gives us. On one side, there's ignorance. Ignorance to the truth. And on the other side, there's truth of arrogance. The truth of arrogance is the side we kind of sit on when we believe and we know that God can create miracles. He can deliver us from anything. He can do anything. And we sit in that, and we expect that, we want that, we believe that, but we're comfortable at that spot. We don't recognize the miracles going on around us. We don't recognize the blessings. We don't recognize it because we're expecting something bigger. I mean, think about it. We, 2,000 years after Christ, and some change, are sitting here expecting more, where his disciples who were sitting right there were in awe of everything that he did. They were with him daily. 24 hours a day. And they were in awe of the miracles that he performed. And some of them, we probably sit here and try to break apart with modern day science, go, yeah, this is why it happened, this is how it happened. It's not going to work. We could try, but they were totally blown away with everything that he did. And we take it for granted. See, there comes to a point where we got to make a decision. Do we sit in that complacent situation where we take everything for granted, or do we look at it as someone seeking truth? Do we go back, and I'm not saying revert back to a non-believing sinner, because we're believing sinners, let's get that straight. But let's not go back to that, except for one place, in our mind. Because when we're first shown that miracle, when God first appears to us, do you remember the day? Do you remember the excitement that hit your heart? Do you remember that feeling, that elation that triggered within you of wanting to know more, wanting to get closer, wanting to be involved, wanting to do more, to be closer to Christ? Because he made a miracle within you. He touched you. And you felt it. You wanted more. You wanted to get closer. You wanted to know him better than anyone else could know him. You wanted that. Look at a new believer. Look at the excitement in their eyes. Look at how much they want to be part of something bigger. And look at the believers who have been following for years. They've gotten past that point of, I want to be there, I want to help, I want to be part of something bigger, to just feed me. Just give me the message on Sunday morning and send me home. I don't want to do anything else. How many times have we heard in our spiritual walk, in our church walk, I'm going to say it that way because the church body, how many times have we heard, well, I've done my part, I've done my duty, I can stop now? No, we can't. When we see something change, I'm sorry, for me, watching someone who doesn't believe, that's a miracle. Watching them get it for the first time, watching the excitement hit them, watching them break down in tears, watching them finally understand, that is a miracle. You may not consider that a miracle, but it is, because it is a complete change of who they are. They have no longer taken the stance of, I don't believe, but tell me more. They actively search, they actively seek, they actively want to be part of something. Where most of the seasoned believers, the seasoned followers, they are in the consumer mindset of feed me and send me home. I don't have to do anything else. That's also a miracle, but in the wrong direction. Think about that. Think about when you wanted to be part of something bigger. Are you still wanting to be part of that bigger picture? Or are you content and happy to sit where you are? To just be here. Don't ask anything of me. I just want to be part of this. The kingdom doesn't matter. We are responsive reading. Do not out of Romans. Now I'm all fired up. I can't think of it. Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We let the world transform our mind back to that mindset, but we still claim to believe. We've made worship a spectator sport. It's not. That's why Jesus, when Revelation says you're either hot or cold, if you're cold, I'm going to spit, or lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out. When you become a spectator, He's going to spit you out. He wants nothing to do with you at this point. Because we take for granted those small miracles around us. How many of us have been taught that miracles happen every day? Right? They do. They do happen every day. The problem is, we refuse to see them. We acknowledge them. We make them commonplace. The sun came up. It's a miracle. Yes, yes it is. It is a miracle. That's a miracle that the sun rose this morning. It's a miracle that there's air in your lungs. It's a miracle that you're sitting here this morning. It is a miracle, but we take it for granted. It becomes commonplace. So we don't worship God for that. We don't give Him praise for that. We don't thank Him for that. It's common knowledge. We're alive. We're here. That's not a miracle, is it? When we put it that way. But it is. Everything that we've been blessed with, everything that we have is a miracle. Yes, it's a trial at times. It's a test. Sometimes we have to be put under pressure in order to shine. But the miracle is He wants you to shine. He wants each and every one of us to shine. He wants each and every one of us to go further than where we are right now. We're so content and comfortable where we're at. We're so focused on everything else that's going on around us, all the negativity, that we can't see those miracles that He's given us. We can't see the small ones. Why would we ever think we're going to get to see the big ones? So my question right now is, are you a consumer? Are you a spectator? Or are you going to God saying, Coach, put me in? Because those new believers, those new followers of Christ, they're all in. They're like, God, I want to be in the game. How do I get in the game? Where do I go? What position do I play today? Everyone else is going, Lord, I want to sit this one out. Sorry, I want to be part of the miracle. Jesus talks about this. If you want to open your Bibles up, it's Matthew 11. I'll give you a second to get there if you want to open them. But if not, I'll read it to you. But He talks about those people that have seen the miracles and haven't moved. They haven't changed. They haven't gotten in the game. And He explains it. It's Matthew 11, verse 20 through 24. And He's talking about the judgment. He says, then Jesus began to denounce the towns where He had done so many miracles, because they hadn't repented of their sins and turned to God. What sorrow awaits you, Chorazin and Bethesda! For if the miracles I did in you had been done in wicked Tyre or Sidon, their people would have repented of their sins long ago, clothing themselves in burlap and throwing ashes over their heads to show their remorse. I tell you, Tyre and Sidon will be better off on Judgment Day than you. And you people of Capernaum, will you be honored in heaven? No. You will go down to the place of the dead. For if the miracles I did for you had been done in wicked Sodom, they would have been here today. I tell you, even Sodom will be better off on Judgment Day than you. Jesus performed, I'm so tongue-tied this morning, Jesus performed miracles in these towns that witnessed it, physically saw it, they watched these miracles happen, and yet they didn't turn. Because they were comfortable in their beliefs. And you think about it, the pool of Bethesda, he healed the lame man that was in the pool. There were so many that witnesses, and what happened? Jesus was chastised, the lame man was chastised because he was carrying his mat on Sunday. But the religious leaders, they were chastising them because, well, they forgot about the miracle. Forget the miracle, you're breaking the law. They were so involved in what was going on around them, they missed the miracle. They missed the healing. And because of that, they didn't make a movement. They didn't change direction. They didn't question it. They didn't want to know more. They wanted to get rid of the miracle maker. So my question is, are you Capernaum? Are you Bethesda? Have you seen the miracles going on around you and just treat them as ho-hum, it's another day? Or do you rejoice for that miracle? Do you give thanks for that miracle? Do you give thanks to God for giving you the opportunity to witness it, to see it, to grow, to live, to laugh, to love? Or is it just another day with another problem, more sorrow, and maybe a smile or two peppered in? Are we seeing those miracles daily? I mean, when we start service up, we ask where we've seen God, and very rarely do we hear, it's a beautiful morning, the sun came up. Huh?
Donna. She'd say it every morning.
Yes. Very rarely do we hear the little things being praised. It's all the time we hear about the big things. And yes, some of those big things are little things to other people. But when you think about it, when we ask where have you seen God moving this week, we have maybe one or two people share something of where they've seen God move. We should all be sharing. We should never even be able to get to the message because we're all sharing our praises. We should be so enthralled and excited about the little gifts that He's given us throughout the day, throughout the week, that should be our entire worship. When we come back to give us the message and get out. I'm not saying the message isn't important. But the praises, that might be even more important. The acknowledgement of what God has given us. The love shown in Him. So as we get ready to pray, I want you to think about this for a minute. Are you seeking those blessings every day? Are you seeking to see them? We're all seeking blessings. Don't get me wrong in that statement. We're all seeking to see something happen from God, or a direction, or a word from Him daily. We all do that. But are we accepting the small things that He's given us? If you remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about when we were down at Winter Jam, one of the other pastors says, you know what, if it wasn't for, and I'm going to go back to the youth, if it wasn't for our youth pastor who would be there and make those little course corrections for us. He wasn't ever trying to say, hey, you need to go from here to here. He's saying, all right, why don't you turn a little bit this way? Okay, turn a little bit this way. All right. Take a big step this way, okay? And another little course correction. If we're looking for those little things that Jesus is doing, those little things that God's doing for us, it paints a much larger and more vivid picture than going from here to here because we missed everything in between. Look for the little miracles in our life. Those little blessings. Especially when we're dealing with our hardest times. That's when we should be seeking more of those little blessings. So we can appreciate the big one when it comes. So let's pray. Lord, we come to you this morning, and I just thank you for giving us the opportunity to worship together this morning, to come and sing your praises, to sing and worship. And Lord, for me, I dance. I love to dance when we worship. I love to move around. I can't sit still because I'm so excited to be around you, to be with you. So Lord, I ask that through all of this that we do here this morning, and as we leave here, that we go and share our blessings with others, that we share our love and our passion for who you are. Don't let us be a spectator, Lord. Don't let us sit still. Don't let us sit on the sidelines. Call us to the line. Send us in. Let us go run a couple plays. Lord, let us be part of who you are. Let us be part of the mission. Because we can't make disciples if we're sitting still. We can't teach if we're not speaking. So Lord, I ask that you speak into our hearts, that you speak into our lives, that you move us, that you guide us, and that we continue to search for those little blessings throughout the day, those little things that should keep us moving, that you've granted us. Father, I thank you for all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. I thank you for every little bit of it. And Lord, I ask that you continue to open my eyes to it. Continue to open all of our eyes to those little blessings. So we can do more to serve and praise you and share those blessings with others. Lord, I come to you and I ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.